I've seen RVs like this before, but I've never seen an RV like this before. Hello everybody, welcome to Bish's RV, welcome to Las Vegas. My name is Josh the RV Nerd with Bish's RV with a new floor plan here from Jayco. And if you'd have told me a couple years ago, this is what Jayco was gonna look like, I don't know that I would have believed you right here. Kind of picking up where White Hawk left off and giving us some of those sort of Eagle feels and features. We have an opposing slide living room with an island kitchen. I would say the nearest similar type floor plan that you might find out there in the marketplace would be something like a 2670 MK Grand Design Imagine. But Jayco found a way to put a little bit different spin on it. We're looking at it today with the optional super sofa. Normally this would be a sofa and dinette model. You could choose theater seat, you could choose high to bed, or with the super sofa, you can choose both theater seat and high to bed. But what's cool is when you do that, it actually comes with a pair of like fold down hideaway TV trays, which might sound a little hokey, but it is so useful and so functional in this camper. When most of the time it's just one or two of you, you have awesome space to stretch out, lounge down, kick your feet back, whatever you want to do with it. But at the same time, if you're gonna have guests over, you still have awesome sleeping space. Frankly, because it's all one flat level, it's just a giant sofa. You don't even gotta open the height of bed if you don't need to. You could sleep two kids toes to toes and put their heads on opposite ends of the slide and do just fine. The amount of window coverage in this is redonkulous. The rear area is just wide open, full storage, and with a dedicated little mini desk space, which is cool. The bedroom, I almost feel they could have shrunk. It's almost superfluously large up there with tons of storage, a queen or a king bed, your choice. You can get one or two air conditioners, one or two solar panels, and thankfully you always have 4 tires, plus a spare, so 5. I'm gonna show some good with bad with everything in between. If you appreciate the fair and candid way we go about this here, hit that subscribe button. Let's get started. And you know, when you walk in the door and you look left, this is what you see, and it did not take me long to go, ooh. A lot of your Super Slide Jayco are now offering either theater seat or high to bed, freestanding table or dinette, or now you have like a 5th choice. Now you can have the full-on Super Slide Super Sofa with 3-section high to bed and theater seat with fold-up down cuddle compliant armrest, complete with dual TV trays basically. And it's funny, people who have camped for years, they know that, yeah, TV trays, again, it sounds hokey, they're so helpful. They're so good, they're so useful. It's kind of shocking to me that it's taken RV manufacturers this long to kind of get on the bandwagon, but I like what they're doing here. They have also really bulked up and focused on a lot of storage. I do want to mention, if we're looking at the rear bank of storage, the two what look like cabinet doors on the bottom right, those are not actually doors. It looks like it. When you see it in person, they're screwed shut. That's because there's both a water heater and a furnace under there. It's not a storage space. So they screw those shut, very similar like what Rockwood does, where it's like a service access panel. Now, this kitchen's awesome. I mean, the total counter space that you have in this thing, the total prep area is amazing. And that's before you even get into what's happening on the rear wall here. The rear wall of this thing is sort of giving me a little bit of ORV vibes, in that a lot of the ORV models have these huge rear wall panoramic window countertop combos like we're looking at here. Now, this is one of the earlier prototypes, and after they built it, after they walked it, they said, it's a little tight here between that huge rear counter and the island. So the rear counter is actually going to shrink back about 4 inches. But the thing is, that rear counter is so deep, I don't know. I'm okay with it. I think that's actually a really good decision. And if you're noticing, you've actually got like a little miniature desk station here. And when the countertop shrinks back, if you want to bring a normal chair instead of that floating storage footrest ottoman thing to sit on, I think that this actually could be a really sweet multi-monitor situation. I really like how they integrated the power outlets, almost like hotel room style, right into the tabletop here. And they are kind of a there when you need them, gone when you don't thing. But we've got Type C, Type A, a couple household plugs, and then they could just totally get out of the way if you just want to use this for some other purpose. Like this could, oh my Lord, I just thought about it. This could be an amazing griddle station. You want a place for your Keurig machine and all that? Like you can set up so much shop in this thing. It's crazy. The window coverage is incredible. Now, a lot of the windows are over on the driver's side. And feel free to repeat this if you feel this way. I suspect the number one bit of feedback that we're going to hear on this floor plan is why didn't they put the windows on the other side? That's my guess. And I don't have an answer. I keep looking at the RV thinking maybe there's a reason for it. I'm not seeing it though. So I think it probably would have been possible and it just was not done here. Now, when you go with the Super Sofa, you don't have a traditional dining setup. This is primarily a couples coach though. And if you want to bust out a couple of those trays that are included with it, it actually is a very handy functional system. I was sitting under a couple of those. They actually fit me pretty well. And if you're in sun country, these are blackout roller shades, so you can totally blot the sun out, like the arrows of the Persian army that attacked King Leonidas in that movie 300. This is a single air conditioner standard, but it's 50 amp. So you can add a second air into the bedroom if you are so inclined. It looks like we might have a little bit of a guest joining us here. How you doing there? Looks like another media guy doing the same thing. We always try to pay each other a little camera person courtesy. Sometimes it's what you can do, you know? You're just getting footage where you can when you can. Down below here, we got the electric space heat and Tootsie Toaster. But you might notice, again, I try to be fair and share good with bad. It is a little bit of a toe stubber kitchen slide. I know some folks are not going to like that, but just because it's not awesome doesn't mean I'm not going to point it out. I think that you deserve to know stuff like that. Now, for campsite window coverage, when you're sitting down, it's not terrible, but you got to remember this giant window right here shares space with the power television. So right now it's a window, but alakazam, the TV pops up and we kind of lose that window coverage. Now, is that okay for you or not? I don't know. But that's how this one is. So if it's not okay for you, we may want to look at a different floor plan. Sorry, I forgot to breathe for a second there and my brain went like, help. And then I got myself put back together. Back to the point at hand. Great kitchen storage here. I do like the triple drawers right next to the desk space. That I could see being very useful. I love the concept of the Super Sofa. Like, I know that some people love their dinette. Some people want to keep the dinette, and I think that's fine. There's nothing wrong with that. But the Super Sofa almost feels like it needs flip-flop to me. Like, I want the theater seat portion in front of the TV, and I want the hide-a-bed portion in the back. But if you do that, you kind of block off a chunk of the camper. But even when the hide-a-bed's open, that's still kind of true. So my personal 2 cents, I feel like I want to recommend to the factory to flip-flop the sides of the Super Sofa, to put the theater seat section in front of the television. That's just my opinion, though. I'm really curious to know what you folks think about the whole Super Sofa concept. It's not like it's new. Jayco had offered it here and there in some of their Eagle fifth wheels for a little while. Open Range has probably done the most Super Sofas in history. I don't think they get a lot of credit for it for one reason or another, though. They don't seem to be the brand that a lot of people necessarily, associate with that. Then from here, we move our way up into the hallway area where we have our potential problem identified. First of all, that is not where you store the TV trays. They actually will slide behind the theater seat section, but the location of that converter, I think when you close these slides, you're not going to be able to get to it. And if you can't get to the fuse box and you blow a fuse, that really sucks. That really sucks very, very bad. So I may point that out to our factory staff members. All of our controls are all located right here in the hallway, including our water heater control. And this is kind of between the bathroom, between the kitchen. I think that's probably, should it go with the main control panel? Should it go in the bathroom? I don't know. I never quite know the answer to that. I do like that their bathroom doors actually have a lock, though. The toilet space here is a porcelain foot flush stool, and it is what I call fairly fluffy friendly. There's some really solid space around my toilet. I wasn't sure how it was going to work out, but it ended up working out pretty good. I don't like open face storage a lot, but considering if that was a door, it would open and hit the toilet, I think that was actually smart execution. Great little spot down there for your extra toilet paper, or The technical term for those is the butt napkins. I don't make the rules, guys. I just abide by them, like the dude. The dude abides. The RV is 6.5 foot tall, which means a little over 6 foot myself. My head's in the shower skylight, pretty good, but it's located intelligently that I don't really have a problem with that. We do have a little bit of an Octopus Fight Club towel drying coat hook situation going on over there. If I back up just a little bit here and get that linen cabinet open, you can see that I really like how that's fully enclosed as well. And each of those shelves has a little bit of a lip to it just to help keep stuff in place. Now, normally the bedroom wouldn't have a bathroom door half blocking it, but that's because I left that open. So pardon as that swings all up in our faces. Again, it might be a symptom of this just being a prototype, but I noticed the little unfinished edge over here on this. I don't really like seeing unfinished stuff in this. I'm pretty sure that's not how they intend to run this long term. I mentioned before, I almost feel like this bedroom is too big. It's almost like they originally prototyped it, like planned this floor plan to have a full bedroom slide, because look at how much open floor space is in here. It's an 80-inch long true queen bed. There's awesome room in here. You actually do have the option of doing a 72 by 80 RV king bed if you're so inclined. And you do have the option of slapping a second air conditioner up in here. You will sacrifice that vent in doing so. Now, something else, it was you gained, but you lost. Look at the big windows beside the bed. You're going to find the same big window on the other side of the bed in a minute. That's awesome. But you also don't have hanging storage wardrobe closets there. They did that partially to give you a bigger window, and also partially because if you get the king bed option, you have to kind of kill those hanging side stands anyway. The good news is you're going to see that this thing still has plenty of cabinet storage in a minute. What I actually want to do, actually, before I get to what I was actually going to do, what I'm actually going to do is show you how the side stands slide open. They are drawers, you know, and the little black hockey puck that's back there, it's a wireless phone charge pad. But if you push down on it, it'll pop up and reveal 2 USB plugs as well. Not to mention, down on the bedside stand, you've got household outlets, which is also very, very handy. Something that's easy to miss on these two, those dresser drawers down there at the base of the bed. Those are a really handy feature that are very, very often overlooked, I think. Something else I think that's very cool here is, again, we don't have side wardrobe closets, because what if you get a queen bed or a king bed? It makes that process very complicated. So what they did here is they built in some serious dresser storage, yep, and a very large closet that's probably bigger than 2 side closets would have been anyway, and they just go ahead and build all that stuff right into here. I think that's pretty smart, and because it's not a sliding privacy door, it means that the wall across from the bed is perfect if you feel like adding a TV. Something else I'm noticing, you're going to see the light get a little bit darker. Oh no, sorry. There's a blue accent light above me here, and that's the little switch for it right there. Okay, I was thinking that was for the lights directly above the bed, but I guess you can just reach up and click those off. I should have checked that before I ran my mouth, but hey, checking before I run my mouth is not exactly my strong suit. I'm going to make a prediction, though. I'm going to run my mouth before I check, now that I've said that. I think when the slides are closed, the only thing that you're going to be able to access is the bedroom and the bathroom. Let's find out. Yep, that basically is the case, but it's slightly more shallow than the living room's like seating slide. Man, I still don't think I don't think that counts as access to that converter panel. I really feel like they want to kind of run that over here around the corner where that CO detector is located. Maybe it's not as pretty, but holy cow, that could get you out of Dodge. Now, the bedroom and bathroom, those are easily accessible in transit, but there is a little bit of a somewhat workaround here. And this workaround works actually for a lot of different RVs. Look at those stable steps over my shoulder. You see how far they stick out? Now look at the slide out. You see how it doesn't stick out as far? If you can open that door and you can drop those steps to get inside to the slide control, you can open that slide. Now that's not ideal. I get that. But it is a potential. It's plausible, you know. It doesn't help you if you pop a fuse, but hopefully when this goes into production, they'll have moved that fuse box. That is actually right after this. That's the next thing I'm gonna do is go mention that to them, because that's a potentially major problem. But if you really do need roadside stop access, if you can open the door, you can open the slide. And I'll say this actually came in lighter weight than I was expecting for something this size. Now, I didn't expect 5,800 pounds, and I didn't expect 9,000, but it did land nicely in the middle there, a little bit lighter weight than I was kind of expecting. Something I thought is kind of interesting is they did give it dual awnings. Now, it means that you have two kind of small awnings, but if they would have gone with one big awning, it would have had to go over the slide out. And I think that you lose a lot of potential awning space when you do that. You might notice this as a Norco exact slide system over here on the kitchen entertainment slide. That's a system that works very well for applications like that. But look where they put the speakers on this one. I kind of wish Jayfeather would do this more often. They brought the speakers down to your picnic level, so you're not blowing the neighbors away with your Freedom Rock, brother. By the way, if you have campsite neighbors that you want to get rid of, what you do is you turn on only your outside speakers, turn off the inside speakers, and blast Yanni as loud as you can. Typically, by the next morning, you have either vacated that campsite or started an impromptu jazz festival. So I guess, do so with caution. Now, we are prepped and ready for a full observation camera suite. That means side and rear view cameras. And when you start getting into the Jayfeathers that have a super slide or larger, like this is dual super slides, you pick up a nose cap that looks very reminiscent of its previous brother, basically, White Hawk. So this is kind of like the new White Hawk. It's just integrated under the Jayfeather family. Now, it could be because it's a prototype. I'll see if I can try to verify this, and hopefully I don't forget, because I'm recording 40 or 50 videos all in one shot, and I may not necessarily always remember every question to follow up on. But they have two sewer outlets right here, absolutely right next to one another, and it really seems like there should be potential to cross-plumb those together. So hopefully before it goes into production, they can accomplish that. But as I'm staring at it now, it's technically a two-headed sewer monster, but at least they're right next to one another, so you don't got to go traipsing around the RV. Belly-mounted spare, sewer hose caddy tube. The underbelly is enclosed. It is also forced air heated. Now, in terms of construction, you have their plywood roof deck, with their Magnum Truss wood roof system, basically stick-built roof system that is very good for heavy snow loads. Your walls are all laminated, aluminum framed with, I call it dual Asdel. So Asdel on the inside and outside layers of the wall, directly below the wallpaper, directly below the fiberglass. Your floor is also a laminated aluminum framed structure, but they put thicker top decking on it to help, disperse stress on the floor and avoid soft spots. Now, this thing has crazy good window coverage, but most of it is over here on the driver's side of the RV. This floor plan, I don't know that you can exactly just overtly directly flip-flop it. I haven't completely eyeballed it. It looks like it's close, but I'm not sure that exactly works. Actually, it seems like it should be able to, but they didn't. This is what we get. It doesn't matter what they could do. This is what we have. Tankless on-demand water heater, furnace over here. I like that your hot air exhaust points, they're over here on the driver's side of the RV. They are away from the campsite of your RV so that you don't accidentally have a hot burn your finger surface on it. Up top on the roof by default, we're single air conditioner, single 200-watt solar panel. You can Sir Mix-a-Lot double up both of those to go dual air and or dual solar for 400 watts, whatever works for you. As you can see, when it's lit up inside like a Christmas tree like it is right now, you you can still see in the RV despite it having those nicely tinted windows. Receiver hitch on the back is also a really nice place to, if you want to bring along bike racks or something, you can. Oh, I mentioned that this slide over here is a Norco exact slide. Your big seating super slide, that is actually a rack and pinion, in case you were curious. So let me know what you whatever. Let me know what you think. I'll leave you a link in the video description to check for pricing and availability wherever we happen to have one of these parked. And until next time, appreciate it, guys. I'll leave you some links in the video description to also find similar floor plans from other builders. Like I mentioned that one Grand Design Imagine, but there's a couple out there. I'll try to dig them up and leave you some notes to easily cross-compare and shop out there. So take care, stay safe, have fun, and watch out for the foliage, everyone. I like to say foliage instead of foliage. It's funner.